Hi everyone, it's Teacher Bernadett and welcome to our Monday morning ring. So, because it's Monday today, what day was it yesterday? Sunday, very good. And what day comes before Sunday? Saturday. But now, what day is tomorrow? Tomorrow is Tuesday, very good. Now, can you remember how many days there are in a week? 7. Are you sure? Well, to make sure, let's sing our song. Okay. Get your hands nice and warm and ready. You can flick your fingers a little bit. You can shake them around, make them do little waves. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Very good, everyone. Now, who can tell me what month we're in? Because I can tell you, it's not the month of May anymore. So what comes after May? June, the month of June. And I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, so how many months are there in a year? 12 months in a year. Are you sure? Are you sure? Let's make sure and sing our song. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Very good. Now, since we are in the month of June, a new month, can you even guess what day of the month it is? It is the 1st of June today. So it's the very first day of a very new month, and that is very exciting because a new month brings new opportunity, but it also brings winter, which I think is amazing. I love winter. But seeing as it's winter, some things start changing inside the house as well as outside with the weather. So because it is getting much colder, what do you need to wear? Are you gonna go out in your swimming trunks or your bikini or your swimming costume? I hope not, because you will freeze and you will come home blue and ice cold like a popsicle. So we have to dress nice and warm. We can wear our hoodies, we can even make our hoodies up. We wear scarves, long pants, slippers if you have slippers to make sure your feet are nice and warm, socks, extra layers underneath like shirts and vests. So we wear all of those to make sure that we are nice and warm outside, especially with cold fronts and wind. Because South Africa, cold generally comes with wind, and wind gets inside your clothes. So it's very important to dress up nice and warm. But a few things also change inside your house because, you know, your house is also getting cold now. So what do? We use blankets and extra bedding, but we also use heaters. Now, I don't have a heater in my house, which is very sad because I get very cold, but I do have warm water bottles or heaties. Let me find one. Of course I'm not going to find one. This is what happens when we don't prepare, guys. This is why we should always prepare. Always prepare. So this is a heatie that you can use It's got beans inside or plastic balls, whichever one you get, they're all different. But we put those in the microwave to make it warm and we put it on our body. But now that we are changing a few things in our house, we need to be extra safe. Because, you know, if you're not safe, a few bad things can happen. So some of the things that can happen is there's too much bad air in the house, especially if you're using heaters or you're always heating up your warmers. And if you breathe a lot of this bad air, you can suffocate, which means that you choke from the inside and you can sometimes stop breathing, which can mean death. Or what can also happen is if things touch the heater, especially fuzzy, fluffy, amazingly soft and warm blankets, we can, you know, catch things on fire. And fires, especially in winter, because South African winters, it doesn't rain, so everything is dry. So if sometimes your hair stands up like this, it's because it's dry. And that's why it's also important to keep putting on lotion in winter, because our skin can dry out and crack and bleed and it's very painful. But because it is so dry, fire can spread very quickly, which means it can travel very fast, very far, very, very quickly, which is very bad. We don't want our houses to catch fire, and we also don't want to get stuck in a fire, because if we get stuck in a fire, we can either burn, we can suffocate from the smoke, and we can die, and we don't want that. Something to also look out for is when you are always heating up the kettle for your warm water bottles or heating up your heaters or your heaties, make sure that you use it carefully, because sometimes things can catch fire in the microwave, or the plugs can get overworked and the plugs can catch fire, or the entire microwave can just catch fire. Weird things happen, guys, so be careful. And this brings us to our theme for the week, which is safety in the house. Now, I chose a pot, a knife, and a fire to show you what not to touch and what to be careful with. So, safety in the house. We've already spoken about when we use warm things to be careful, but also don't touch things that are too hot, because you will burn, you can lose your skin, the skin can peel off, especially if you do use these in warm water bottles. Don't put it on your body if it's very, very hot, or rather put it inside your bed to warm up your bed, and then when this is warm enough that you can touch it without feeling that it's too hot, then you can put it on your body, because otherwise your body will go red, your skin will go red, and you can burn yourself quite badly. Something else to be careful of is water and electricity, but we'll talk about that in another video, as well as medicine. You know, don't drink medicine that isn't given to you, because you don't know what the medicine is and you don't know what can happen to you. Some medicines make you throw up, some medicines can make you feel dizzy, and some medicine can actually kill you, especially if you have a lot. So if it looks like a sweet and you think it's a sweet but you're not quite sure, especially if it comes in a small bottle, rather ask mommy, daddy, auntie, uncle, or whoever's with you to just check what it is in case you want to eat it, but it's actually very, very dangerous. So just be careful. Now, something that is very, very, very important when it comes to safety in the house is knowing what to do when something goes wrong. When something goes wrong, the first thing you have to do is call for mommy, daddy, auntie, uncle, sister, brother, whoever's in the house, whoever's bigger than you, whoever can know what to do. Call for them and ask them to help. If they are not there, and you have a phone available, even if it is a landline or a cell phone or someone else's cell phone, even if it means, you know, something happened to mommy or daddy and their phones are there, you can use this phone. And you can call, if mommy and daddy are not there, you can call mommy or daddy. That is why it is so important for us to practice knowing our numbers. So if we know the cell phone numbers of mommy or daddy or auntie or uncle or gogo or mkulu or whoever is with us or whoever takes care of us, then we can phone them whenever something goes wrong. Another number to remember is the number for the police or emergency services. Now this sounds a little tricky and this sounds very scary that we have to know this number, and you're thinking, another number? Another number? Oh my goodness. This is an easy number and I'll show you why. So the number is 10111. So I made it all nice and colorful because our brains remember color quite easily. So if you remember color, you can remember this. So it's only 10111. Pretty easy to remember. So practice saying that in your head. Now, if you forget this number, or if you panic about remembering this number, just do this. Now you're thinking, why would I say everything's okay? That's just silly, Teacher Bernadett. It's not. Because this is your number. 10111. I was taught this when I was about 4 years old, and I have never ever forgotten this number. So we use the number 10111. Easy to remember. So I want you to practice this number. If you want to practice using this, just do this all the time, or at least a few times. Don't do it all the time. You can also practice writing your number in different colored ways to make it, to make yourself remember it. Don't phone this number just to try it out, because it can be very dangerous to phone and to clog up the number, well, the phone system that they have, because some people do actually need to use this number. So don't just phone the number. Use it only in emergencies. But practice the number using your fingers, writing down the number. You can even make it with Play-Doh to use your finger muscles a little bit, and just learn the number. Now you're probably thinking, well, that's not a number I've heard. I've heard 911. Well, 911 is an emergency number, but it is an American emergency number. And if I remember correctly, we live in South Africa, so we need to use 10111. So just remember this, and remember to stay safe, and I'll see you all soon. Bye everyone. Hi everyone, it's Teacher Bernadett and welcome to today's art activity. So for today, what we are going to be doing is we're going to draw and cut and color and stick a little bit. And if you want to paint, you can even paint. But what we're going to do is draw some of the things that we shouldn't touch, just to make sure that we are safe in our homes. So some of the things that we've discussed in our morning rings include knives, because they're sharp and we don't want us to cut ourselves, boiling water, fire, obviously, some electrical plugs. That's not a good idea. What else isn't a good idea? I don't know. You have to draw it, and I can't wait to see what you draw. So, before I actually go, something I am going to use to make it a little bit more interesting and exciting is tinfoil, because it's nice and noisy and it's nice and shiny and it's really fun to work with. So all you're going to need is some paper. You can use one piece of paper, you can even do two if you have a lot of things that you know that you shouldn't be touching. Some tinfoil, some scissors, a pencil, and any crayons and any paint that you have and that you want to use. So let's get started. And there you go. Here is my paper with a few things that we're not allowed to really touch or play with. I have a very sharp knife, a very hot iron, a clothes plug, an electric plug or socket that you're not allowed to put your fingers into, and a stove with a boiling pot of water that we definitely don't want on us. So I hope that you can also think of a few other things you want to add. As you can see, there is quite a lot of space on a piece of paper, so you can do as many as you can and as you want. Just make sure that you have at least 4, and I can't wait to see what you made. Bye everyone.